All right. Good morning, everybody. Early morning crypto talk. Bitcoin Brandon here, Los Angeles, California. It is Friday for those of you that are keeping track. TGIF, end of the week. If you're taking advantage of the crypto space and you're doing it well, every day is a Friday. So that's the goal to ultimately get to. It's good morning for some of you, afternoon or evening, depending on where you are logging in from. So let's see, who do we have on? We've got Vanessa Asmaret from the UK, Bethany Gibbs, Angel Nieves from Puerto Rico, Bill Childers, Terry Marino, Lashana, Prelvis, Mafus, Yolanda. Good morning, good morning. We're going to learn something new this morning. As always, that is the point. I always get my day started with crypto education first, and then I end my day with also crypto education. As a disclaimer, I am not a licensed financial advisor to be dispensing financial advice. I read the news, give my opinion, share suggestions, and it is up to you to make an informed decision on which direction you want to go in. There's 4 rules I live by in the crypto space. Rule number 1, education is key. Education is everything. Rule number 2, never invest money that you cannot afford to lose. Rule number 3, always get your return on investment back first. Rule number 4, where do you see yourself in 3 months, 6 months, a year from now? What are you willing to do to make that happen? Find a vehicle and the game plan. Take action. And don't get distracted. There's so many things in this space that can get you distracted. You have limited resources. I was talking to Lashana last night, and we were coming up on showing her the 3-month game plan, a 6-month, where she could be by the end of the year and where she could be 1 year from now, based on some decisions she made this month. And it is exciting to say the least. But you've got to take action. You know, you guys don't realize in this space that your life can radically change in a very, very short period of time, either good or bad. But I speak on the positive side of things. That no matter where you are in life right now, no matter what you're personally going through, whether it's in your personal life or financial life, you're really just a decision away from a radical change. And I know for sometimes that might be easier said than done. But I've been there on both instances, both personally and financially. How I handle the personal side when things seem that there's no way out, especially at my age of 42 years old now. I'm always reminded that I've gone through struggles in the past, and I ask myself, is this struggle worse than anything that I got through before? And it really doesn't matter the answer, whether it's yes or no, because I follow up with, God got me through that. Why do I have any doubt that I'm not going to get through this challenge? Just work the problem out. Financially, I have figured out that once you learn a certain skill set, you are always one decision and 60 days away from a major turnaround. One decision in 60 days. Why do I use that term 60? In the crypto space, 30 days. I say 60 days because I come from the direct selling industry. And I know how long it takes to get started, create momentum, and see results. And if you know what you're doing, 60 days. In the crypto space, it's cut half the time because you really don't need people. It's just all about your investments. and knowing how to flip it. And in crypto space, that's 30 days. If you're willing to learn. And that's where the education piece comes in. And look at Bill, got 78 years old, and Bill understands that the future is cryptocurrency. Bill has seen a lot in his life, especially where society has grown and changed and evolved. And so I give it up to Bill to be able to recognize. And in fact, you know what? Bill understood crypto and Bitcoin before I did. He brought it up to me back in maybe 2015 when he said, "Hey, Brandon, are you getting into this Bitcoin stuff?" And I said, "No." But he was involved. He saw it before I did. So anyways, let's see, what can we learn this morning? But yeah, I think Lashana was excited after that talk last night, realizing that in 1 year, forget 60 days, 1 year from now, how your life can be completely different. You know, if you're used to making $3,000 to $5,000 a month, and all of a sudden you make that on a weekly basis, all of a sudden one investment yields you 5-6 figures, and then you know what to do with that, how to flip it. Look at Kathy Keene. Year 2016 and 2017 changed her entire life. And you know that old saying, I don't need money to make me happy, but guess what happened with Kathy? When your house burns down, it sure helps if you got a whole lot of money in the bank, rather than your house burning down and you were already broke. There's a difference. Anyways, this is not a motivational Facebook Live this morning. This is supposed to be crypto talk. So let's go over a couple of articles here. Something just compelled me. I don't know why. One of you on here needed to hear that. So something led me to go in that direction. But let's start with Bitcoin skeptic Peter Schiff. These critics that love to be vocal about this, I wonder, do they ever think about their legacy? That you want to take that risk that you might be on the wrong side of history of the biggest technological innovation to hit humanity, and you're on the wrong side of that. This isn't the 70s, 80s, maybe even the 90s, where a whole lot of things aren't recorded like they are today. You got to go back and look through newspaper articles to see a quote from some dumbass who says something crazy. But today, everything is recorded and out there in the world, and your children, your grandchildren, and so on are going to be able to see that. They're going to be able to know who their great-grandfather is and see you. Many of you don't even know your great-grandfather's name. Why? Because he didn't leave nothing to you. But the next few generations, everything is recorded. Facebook and MySpace, the internet, all of our pictures, our videos, all of that is public. Your great-grandchildren will be able to see you were acting a fool while you were in college on some video on spring break somewhere. They'll be able to see grandma was twerking it well. Get it, Granny? So, this guy wants to be on the wrong side of history. At the hour and 24-minute mark, slightly more than halfway in their time together, famed Bitcoin skeptic Peter Schiff brought the conversation back to his favorite foil: cryptocurrencies are bunk. Okay. It was Mr. Schiff's third appearance on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast, and he took the opportunity to blast the world's most popular decentralized money, insist a recent debate between him and the CEO of Shapeshift on the subject was rigged. Oh, so now he's saying it's rigged. And how he believes Bitcoin's price will crash further to $1,000 and lower. I seriously doubt that. The Joe Rogan Experience keeps bringing Bitcoin skeptic Peter Schiff back on. Yeah, why? And it's no wonder, as each time the two men hold close to 3-hour uninterrupted conversations over the last 4 years. Oh, that's why. The public seems to eat it up. JRE number 445, 2014, not quite 250,000 views. Episode 1002 in 2017 has racked up over 1.1 million views. And episode 1145 in 2018 of only a few days ago already is nearing 700,000 views. When all is said and done, over 2 million people would have been exposed to free market economics and expressly mainstream U.S. libertarian thought. Those and also why Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are horrible bubbles. Okay. Widely acknowledged as a gold bug, Mr. Schiff explained to Mr. Rogan how. That's the whole selling point of Bitcoin. It's digital gold. No, it's not. That is not the selling point of Bitcoin. That is what people are using it for. There's a difference. Besides, there is no company or CEO selling Bitcoin. There is no commercial saying you need to go buy Bitcoin. So right there, I just, put me on a podcast with him. I'll shut him down in the first sentence. First thing he says, I'm like, nope, that's not true. And here's why. And that's one thing, reporters aren't reporters anymore. They don't challenge who they got on the show. They just accept what's being said and just keep moving on. Says, he further noted BTC does have similar properties, but that its being math and not physical means is ultimately lacks real utility. False. False, 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 false. In other words, he's saying gold is something you can physically pick up and look at. Bitcoin is not, therefore it's fool's gold. It doesn't work. If that's the case, shut down the entire internet right now. You need to shut down email. That's the same argument people used against email in the early 90s. Well, at least with a letter, I get a package in the mail, I can touch it, I can look at it, I can see the handwriting. Who's going to use email? It's all digital, it's not real. Come on, Joe Rogan, I hope you're blasting him back on this. Challenge him on his comments. Then he says, technically, I lost the debate. Also, he admitted that. But I think it was rigged. Oh, okay. So if you lose, then it's because, cheating was going on. You admit that you lost, but there's an asterisk. There was cheating. Mr. Schiff then concluded, moving his monologue through a non sequitur. The reference is to a contest on the subject of Bitcoin hosted by the Soho Forum in New York City earlier this month, whereby he debated Shapeshift CEO Eric Voorhees. Also, Eric Voorhees ate his lunch, huh? Mr. Schiff blamed his loss on a largely pro-Bitcoin audience, really? Which he also assured was told to fib on the initial poll of their true feelings about... Really? That's what you got to come up with? They were told to lie about their true feelings about crypto so as to ensure his eventual defeat? Come on, man. The format of the debate was such that winners were determined by the percentage grown to a debater's position. So even if the audience was already in the bag for Bitcoin, all Mr. Schiff had to do was convince more of them than Mr. Voorhees. That didn't happen, and by a lot. Yeah, his first two sentences I already broke down. Any educated person in crypto will know that he's not telling either he's not telling the truth or he grossly is ignorant to the topic. You choose. Which one's worse? Which one's better? Transitioning on his way to explaining how Bitcoiners are cultish. That could be true, partly. Not all, but there is a cultish group. Mr. Rogan described them as very tribal. Naive playboys living it up in his new home Commonwealth Island of Puerto Rico, he admitted to having missed out on a pretty radical run-up since BTC's inception to now. He explained the digital asset was tailor-made for him and his politics, but he knew even back then it was something of a scam, really. So what's happening here, he's butthurt. He had an opportunity to get in on it when it was cheap as hell, and he could have become a multi-millionaire off of it. And he ignored it. And so now he's sticking to his guns. So 10 years from now, he'll still be saying, oh, it's gonna implode one day. Okay, it's made millionaires and billionaires since then. If it implodes, I made $1 billion. You know, they say nothing may last forever. He called it a bubble. He also insisted a lot of people are destined to be hurt financially. Yes, a lot of people are going to be hurt financially, just like a lot of people are hurt financially in the stock market, in the forex market, in the precious golds and metals market. You've got people who are making bets and who are engaging in investments that they have no business doing. They don't have the education, they don't have the knowledge, and you lose. There's not 100% winners. So how is that different from any other investment? Of course there's going to be some people hurt, especially those who don't want to get education. I'm telling you right now, I will not invest with somebody or listen to anybody that shuns their nose up to crypto education. Oh, I'll just go get it for free on YouTube. Get out of here with that. I can't trust to invest with you. If you're willing to say no to $300 for an education program, $300 is too risky for you, but you'll bet $50,000 on something because you got a tip. And you've done no research, you know, no education about. Nah, son, nope. Ironically, as Mr. Schiff was once again predicting BTC's death, something he's been doing for almost a decade. I mean, at some point, you got to give it up, man. I mean, it's your ego at this point. What, if 40 years from now, it finally dies, will you be there to say, see, I told you so 40 years ago? That's 2 generations. All right. Nevertheless, it says, okay. As Mr. Schiff has once again predicting BTC's death, something he's been doing for almost a decade, the price actually rallied to well above the 7,000 mark. Nevertheless, Mr. Rogan followed Mr. Schiff's line of reasoning, asking, you think it's going down? Mr. Schiff affirmed enthusiastically, patting himself on the back as knowing Bitcoin well enough not to be fooled, as he mistakenly referred to Satoshi Nakamoto as its pseudonymous founder. Mr. Schiff is also famous for malapropisms. Malapropisms. Now, I have a college education. I haven't heard that word in a long time, and I need to look that up again. I think it's more for exaggerations, another word for it. He ranted when BTC dips and it keeps falling, it goes down to 1,000 or lower, where I think it's going. That's going to create a lot of problems. It ain't going to happen, Schiff. Yes, your wildest dream, and you're hoping one day it would. But you know what? Put your money where your mouth is. I forgot the name of the billionaire who put up a bet. No, he's not even a billionaire. He put up a bet against Warren Buffett. He said since Warren Buffett keeps running his mouth, he bet 11 or no. I think $8.9 million or something like that. Yeah, 8.9 million he bet that one day by 2023, one Bitcoin will be worth more than one Berkshire Hathaway stock, which is about $280,000 per share. If he's wrong, he loses 8.9 million. If he's right, he makes $800 million. He put his money where his mouth is. Something Warren Buffett still won't do. Even though he's saying, Bitcoin's rat poison, he won't bet against it. Even the Winklevoss twins dared him. Said, if you're so against it, bet against it. Put your money down, Warren. Perhaps Mr. Schiff's most salient point was when, in his doom scenario, BTC loses a lot of people, a lot of money. Like the stock market did, like what happened in 2008. This will bring in government crackdowns like never before. The government can't do nothing. The fear, he insists, is that such a crash and resulting government response will prove to the public how free markets and capitalism are best served through intense regulation. Then that's not a free market. Do you realize the United States government, I can't go way off to track on this, had complete free market all the way up to the 1860s when they started to crack down. And there's a number of reasons why. They wanted to have world influence, but at the same time, they had the Civil War going on. They didn't like other countries funding the South, or the South didn't like them funding the North. So they banned all currency outside of the federal currency. And then they took it further in the Industrial Revolution. And I'm not saying this is wrong, because a lot of things needed to be regulated for worker safety conditions and unions and things. People were working 17, 18-hour days and getting paid pennies. So I'm not saying I'm against regulation, but the free market system was working all the way up till then. That's what it was. Then it got regulated. So a little bit of history there. All right, enough of him. Let's go on to the next one. CFA's 2019 exam to include cryptocurrency and blockchain syllabus. Sorry a second, I got a couple of articles that popped up in front of me I was looking at. See if it was going to be worth reading now or I'll save for tonight. Tonight? I might go to the movies tonight. Alright, let's see. Already notorious for being incredibly difficult, the Chartered Financial Analyst Program exams in 2019 feature questions on cryptocurrency and blockchain. The most brutal test in finance to become even harder. To be more precise, the CFA Institute is adding the crypto and blockchain topics to its Level 1 and 2 curriculums. The test itself has 3 parts. The CFA included these topics in a new reading called FinTech and Investment Management. The CFA will also include the questions on crypto and the ethics part of each testing level, a topic that is especially important for the crypto industry now because of the ongoing scrutiny and regulatory developments regarding cryptocurrency exchanges, investment vehicles, and taxation. The reasoning behind this move is that the key players in the financial industry have shown interest in these topics in surveys. Stephen Horan, Managing Director for General Education and Curriculum at the CFA Institute in Virginia, USA, said, "We saw the field advancing more quickly than other fields, and we also saw it as more durable. This is not a fad." The CFA will release the new reading materials in August 2018. The content might need around 300 hours of study time to master. As for the additional topics, the intersection of cryptocurrencies and economies being one of them, Horan thinks they might add them in the future. At the moment, they're going slowly. From now on, examinees can also expect questions on fintech topics such as artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data, and automated trading. The most brutal test in finance, as the applicants fondly call it, indeed is incredibly hard. Out of 100,000 people that take the test each year, only 50% the first round pass it. The program has accredited around 150,000 people who passed all 3 rounds of testing since 1963. Wow, only 50% make it past the first round? In 2018, the number of applicants soared. As many as 227,031 people in 91 countries and territories have applied to the June 2018 exams. The majority of these exams come from Asia, where the most of digital asset activity takes place and which is home to 2 large crypto markets, South Korea and Japan. Let's not forget that Japan is home to the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange by volume, Binance. Those who pass this tricky exam can expect a significant career boost in the financial industry. So what is the CFA Institute exactly? The CFA Institute is an international association of investment management professionals. It offers educational, ethical, and certification programs for anyone who wants to become an accredited financial analyst. Its primary mission is to promote and maintain the highest standards of ethics and professionalism in the world's investment industry. The CFA societies offer professional guidance to financial students and raise awareness of CFA charter holders. As the world's most significant association of investment professionals, they also provide career opportunities. Namely, the CFA Institute membership includes over 70,000 people who hold the CFA title or otherwise subject to its rules. The most famous CFA charter holders include Abby Joseph Cohen, senior U.S. investment strategist at Goldman Sachs, Gary Brinson, the founder of Brinson Partners, Swiss Bank Corporation later acquired them, and Sir John Marks Templeton, who founded the Templeton Mutual Funds. Now, that's one test I'll be avoiding. Math and stuff like that? All right. And the last one. Coinbase scores major whale for institutional brokerage service, says a report. Coinbase has been in the news a lot recently. So let's see what's the deal with this one. Industry giant Coinbase has scored a major win for its recently launched institutional brokerage service, as a major hedge fund has begun using its platform to dip its toe into the fledgling cryptocurrency market. Citing unnamed sources familiar with the matter, Business Insider reports that the $20 billion hedge fund, whose name was not disclosed by the sources, began using Coinbase Prime following its launch earlier this year. Perhaps a sign that cryptocurrency is preparing to emerge as a mainstream asset, at least among alternative investments. You guys have to appreciate still how early on we are in this. I still say the sweet spot, we've got a year and a half. By 2020, the cat will be out of the bag, literally. So we've got the rest of this year and 2019 to really get yourself positioned to ride the wave when it starts to skyrocket. When that rocket takes off, you want to be sitting at the tip of it so that the momentum propels you all the way up. We've still got time. Not a whole lot. So this says, earlier this year, Coinbase set up an office in Chicago, a location it likely chose due to reputation as a regional hub for professional trading firms. This provides the firm with the ability to more effectively offer hedge funds and institutional clients in-person support and develop personal relationships with traders. The news follows the publication of a report indicating that Grayscale Investments, a New York-based firm that offers a range of cryptocurrency investment products wrapped as traditional finance instruments, is seeing $10 million in new investments every week, 50% of which is coming from institutional buyers. Fellow cryptocurrency industry giant Circle has identified a similar uptick in interest from institutional clients. The firm recently reported that it has experienced a 30% increase in new institutional clients in May and has seen enough activity from large-scale buyers to double the minimum order size at its cryptocurrency trading desk to 500,000. You know, what does that mean? Like I say, you need at least $250,000 to be in the stock market. Be taken serious. What they just did was said, you need to have at least $500,000. $500,000. As CCN reported, a growing number of hedge fund billionaires have made personal investments in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, though with Peter Thiel being a notable exception, most of these visionaries have not allocated capital from their funds into this still nascent asset class. Just this week, Mark Lazary, who runs $9.6 billion asset management firm Avenue Capital Group, revealed that cryptocurrencies comprise about 1% of his estimated $1.7 billion in personal net worth. Basically about $17 million he put into crypto. He further predicted that the Bitcoin price could reach $40,000 within the next 3 to 5 years. All right, let's stop right there. If he has $17 million worth of Bitcoin, let me see how good my math is. This is what I was trying to do last night, right, Lashana? 17 million. Just want to do a little test. Give me a second. Oops. Come on, Brandon, do math real quick. So he's got about 2,280 Bitcoins, okay? And the current price of that is about $7,400. So let's take those same 2,281 Bitcoin. Now it's worth $40,000 each. That's 91, is that right? Yeah, 91 million? No, it's got to be more than that. Well, 91 million. That ain't bad. You went from 17 million to 91 million? That's just 1% of his wealth? Get out of here. Anyways, that's it for today. I hope you learned something new. As always, that's the point. I will be back maybe if I don't go to the movies with Late Night Crypto Talk tonight, or if there's some good news that comes out. For those of you who listened to what I said at the very beginning, that you're just one decision in 60 days away from a complete turnaround, I'll give you 2 ways of making this happen. Free information. It's not financial advice. The first, invest $300 in crypto education through Cryptogenics. The knowledge that you're going to earn there will help you in any direction you go in the crypto space. I was telling people at the Blockchain Expo in London that Cryptogenics should be everybody's gateway into crypto. Number 2, purchase a GreenX mining rig ASAP. Now you're investing $3,750 on a mining rig. Now there is no guarantee on the return of this. But this mining rig, if it only does 10% of what we project it can do, will give you enough seed money to invest further in the crypto space. Increase your portfolio. Have money to put into different ICOs. Now you have put it into trading. If you open up your own trading account and can trade on it, there's a difference between trading $200 to $300 on Binance and trading $20,000 to $30,000 on Binance. So those 2 moves right there can get you started into the crypto world and investing world and get some money to flip and turn into more. I flipped $100 into a lot of money. I wish I had $10,000 when I first got started. And then $100,000. My ultimate goal is I want to have about $250,000 of money that I don't need to spend. That's $250,000 that I don't need to, use to pay bills. That I don't need to use to live on. That's not just going to sit, that I can actually, that's my play money in the crypto market to trade with, to invest with, to get into certain different things. Now we're talking some serious money here, and having a full-time income, luxurious income on your money. That's my ultimate goal. And so it's just a question on how long will it take to get to that point where all bills are being paid, house, cars, debts, living day-to-day living expenses, and you still got $250,000 to play with in the crypto market, and you have education to back you up, that is game over. Kathy can call me up talking about Brandon, get in Timmy Coin, and I drop $100,000 right there on the spot. That's what I'm talking about. So again, enjoy this Friday, TGIF, but know that every day can be a Friday in the crypto space. By making a decision, taking action, making some wise investments, get into KGX, Cryptogenics, buy yourself a mining machine. And while you're learning, while that machine is going, you're going to learn how to flip your money and go from there. If you came on late, you can always go back to the beginning and listen to the beginning. This is some good information. And as always, that is the point. We're learning every single day. That's it for now. Bitcoin Brandon out. God bless. Bye-bye.
Cryptogenics.